Everything is a Mindset is a channel dedicated to guiding you on a journey of self-improvement, offering insights into education, personal development, the ever-evolving world of digital marketing, and artificial intelligence. Whether you're a lifelong learner, a curious mind, or looking to adapt to a rapidly changing world, you're in the right place. Subscribe and allow notifications to get more content like this.
Welcome to your personalized deep dive.
Okay.
Today we're tackling a question that's probably crossed all of our minds at one point or another.
Yeah.
How do we discover our life's work?
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Your stack of sources includes Jeff Goins' book, The Art of Work.
Yeah.
And I think it hints at some pretty fascinating answers.
Absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward to exploring this with you.
Yeah. Me too.
I think you're in for some real eye-openers.
Yeah. I think it's funny how we often talk about finding our calling as if it's like this big treasure hunt.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to go out and find it.
Uh-huh.
But Goins uses this this story of Garrett Rushmiller, who was a triathlete,
Okay.
diagnosed with a brain tumor as a teenager,
Wow.
to illustrate a different point.
Okay.
It's not always about discovering something new, but rather recognizing something that's been within us all along.
It's a really powerful story.
Yeah,
I mean, here's this young athlete facing an incredibly difficult situation.
absolutely.
And yet, it was through this experience that he and his family found a new sense of purpose.
Yeah.
They ended up starting a foundation to support other families going through similar challenges. What resonates with you about Garrett's story?
Well, I think it shows that our most challenging experiences can be catalysts.
Right.
Like they shake us up and force us to reevaluate our priorities.
Yeah.
And, maybe even reveal a path we hadn't considered before. It's not about waiting for this grand epiphany,
Right.
but recognizing the potential for growth and purpose, even in the midst of difficulty.
So it's like those experiences can actually shape the path.
Exactly.
Rather than us having to go out and find it.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that finding our calling might not be about some predetermined plan, but about,
Right.
Being open to how our experiences shape us.
Yeah.
Goins then introduces this idea of accidental apprenticeships, which I find so intriguing. He suggests we're constantly picking up valuable skills and knowledge through everyday experiences, even if we don't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience like that where you learned something valuable in a completely unexpected way?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like life itself is a classroom filled with mentors and teachers we might not even recognize as such.
Okay.
Goins uses the example of Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
who, despite dropping out of college,
Right.
found value in these seemingly random experiences.
Okay.
And who would have guessed that a calligraphy class would end up influencing the design of the Macintosh computer?
That's such a great example of how seemingly unrelated experiences can connect in these unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, what are the hidden calligraphy classes in our own lives?
Yeah.
Those moments where we're learning valuable skills without even realizing it.
I think about the
Yeah.
hobbies you pursue, the volunteer work you've done, even those challenging jobs you might not have loved at the time.
Right.
All of these experiences contribute to our skills and shape our perspectives.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the value of those accidental apprenticeships
Okay.
and seeing how they might be guiding us towards our true calling.
So we've talked about the importance of paying attention to our experiences and
Yeah.
recognizing those accidental apprenticeships.
Yeah.
But Goins also emphasizes the role of painful practice. And I think this is where things get really interesting. He tells the story of Stephanie Fisher, who auditioned for American Idol 7 times,
Oh, wow.
facing harsh criticism each time.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what's the line between persistence and knowing when to let go?
Well, Stephanie's story, as kind of cringeworthy as it is a perfect example of the difference between simply trying
Okay.
and engaging in what psychologist Kay Anders Erickson calls deliberate practice. It's about pushing beyond your comfort zone,
Yeah.
actively seeking feedback, and focusing on specific areas for improvement.
Okay.
Deliberate practice isn't about mindless repetition.
Right.
It's about intentional effort and a willingness to learn from your mistakes.
So while Stephanie's persistence is admirable,
Yeah.
she ultimately didn't make it past the initial audition rounds.
Right.
And it begs the question, is success always the end goal? Or could there be value in the process of deliberate practice,
Yeah.
even if we don't achieve the outcome we initially desired?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Goins contrasts Stephanie's experience with artists like Hilary Scott and Colby Kyle,
Okay.
who were also initially rejected by American Idol, but went on to have successful music careers.
Right.
Their stories highlight that persistence and deliberate practice,
Yeah.
combined with adaptability, can lead to breakthroughs
Yeah.
even if the initial path is blocked.
So it sounds like the key takeaway here is that deliberate practice, even if it comes with setbacks, can lead to growth and self-discovery.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether we achieve external success.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to reevaluate your definition of success?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get caught up in the idea of external validation.
Right.
But true fulfillment often comes from the journey itself,
Yeah.
from the challenges we overcome and the lessons we learn along the way.
So it's not just about reaching the destination,
Yeah.
but about the growth and self-discovery that happen along the way.
Right.
So we've talked about paying attention to our experiences, embracing those accidental apprenticeships,
Yeah.
and engaging in deliberate practice.
Right.
But how do we actually put all of this together to find fulfilling work?
Right.
What's the next step?
Well, Goins talks about the importance of building bridges.
Okay.
And I think that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
He uses the story of Ginny Fang,
Okay.
a single mother in Singapore who built a successful career despite facing societal stigma,
Wow.
to illustrate this point.
Okay.
What's interesting about her story is that she didn't make some grand sweeping change. Instead, she took advantage of opportunities as they arose, recognizing the smaller steps that were leading her towards a new path.
So it sounds like it's not about making a drastic leap,
Yeah.
but rather recognizing those smaller, sometimes serendipitous steps that can guide us in a new direction.
Right.
It's almost like trusting that the path will reveal itself as we go along.
Exactly. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line.
Right.
Building bridges is about recognizing the connections between our experiences
Okay.
and being open to those unexpected opportunities that present themselves along the way. Sometimes the path reveals itself through these seemingly small decisions and chance encounters.
That brings to mind Goins' concept of pivot points. Those moments where we might change direction based on our experiences, even our failures.
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you ever experienced a pivot point in your own life?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A moment where something you initially perceived as a setback actually led you in a more fulfilling direction. Goins uses Matt McWilliams, who went through a series of different careers as an example. Even his perceived failures and setbacks became pivot points,
Oh, okay.
redirecting him towards a more fulfilling path.
Yeah.
Think about the origins of Groupon.
Right.
It started as this failed social activism platform
Wow.
before pivoting to a completely different business model,
Okay.
one that turned out to be incredibly successful.
That's a great example of how what we might initially see as a failure can actually be a redirection towards something much better.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of staying flexible, adaptable, and open to new possibilities, even when things don't go according to plan.
Right.
And pivoting isn't just about reacting to external circumstances. Sometimes it's about recognizing an internal shift,
Yeah.
a growing awareness of what truly aligns with our values and aspirations.
Right.
And that brings us to the concept of a portfolio life. This is where we move beyond the traditional idea of a single job, right?
Exactly.
Goins talks about this concept, as described by Charles Handy,
Right.
of viewing our work lives not as a single job, but as this multifaceted portfolio. It's a really intriguing way to think about how we structure our work and lives.
Yeah.
Could you break this down for us a bit further?
Sure.
What does a portfolio life actually look like in practice?
Handy outlines 5 types of work that can make up this portfolio.
Yeah.
Fee work and salary work are the traditional ways we think about getting paid, trading hours for dollars or having a fixed income.
Right.
But then there's homework,
Yeah.
the things we do at home, like taking care of family or managing our household. It's work, even if it's not paid in the traditional sense.
And then there's study work,
Right.
which I think is so important.
Absolutely.
It's any intentional learning we do, whether it's taking a class, reading a book, or simply dedicating time to improving our skills. It might not have immediate payoff, but it contributes to our growth and can open up new possibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, there's gifts work.
Okay.
This encompasses any volunteer work or acts of service we do for others.
Right.
It's the work we do out of a sense of purpose and a desire to make a positive impact on the world.
I love that phrase, gift work.
Yeah,
It really captures the idea that meaningful work isn't always about financial gain.
right.
It can be about contributing to something larger than ourselves.
Hmm.
So when we think about the portfolio life, it's about finding a balance between these different types of work.
Precisely. And the key is to create a portfolio that reflects our individual values and aspirations.
This raises an important question for you.
Oh.
As you're reflecting on this concept,
Mm-hmm.
think about your own life for a moment.
Yeah.
What does your current portfolio look like?
Mm.
Does it reflect your values and aspirations?
Yep.
Are there areas you might want to adjust or explore further? And how might you incorporate more gift work to make a positive impact on the world?
These are really valuable questions for all of us to consider.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding work that pays the bills,
Right.
but about crafting a life that is meaningful and fulfilling.
Now, Goins goes beyond simply structuring our work life.
Mhm.
He also delves into the idea of mastery.
Right.
But it's not just about achieving some level of expertise.
Yeah.
It's about something deeper than that.
He tells the story of Sam, a farmer in Uganda,
Okay.
who's striving to create a better future for his family despite living in poverty.
Wow.
Sam's story illustrates that mastery isn't just about acquiring skills. It's about finding meaning and purpose in our work,
Right.
using our abilities to make a positive impact on the world.
It's a powerful reminder that true mastery isn't about accolades or recognition.
Yeah.
It's about the impact we have on others and the contribution we make to something larger than ourselves.
Goins also connects this idea to the film Mr. Holland's Opus. Mr. Holland initially dreams of composing this great symphony, but he finds his true calling in teaching music to generations of students.
So it's about recognizing that sometimes the most meaningful work is the impact we have on others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's about leaving the world a little bit better than we found it. And that brings us to the final concept. Goins explores legacy.
It's interesting how this deep dive has come full circle.
Right.
Remember Garrett Rushmiller, the
Yeah.
triathlete diagnosed with a brain tumor?
Yeah.
His experience led him to create a legacy of supporting others facing similar challenges.
And Ginny Fang built a legacy of empowering women in a society that often marginalized them.
Exactly.
It seems like finding our life's work isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's
Yeah.
also about the positive impact we have on the world and the things we leave behind.
Mm.
What legacy are you building through your work and life?
Yeah.
That feels like the central question we're left with.
Yeah, it really is a powerful question.
And Goins didn't just leave us with these big philosophical concepts.
Right.
He actually provides some practical tools to help us figure this out. He includes these next step exercises in the appendix of The Art of Work.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought those up.
Yeah.
They offer some really concrete steps we can take to actually put these ideas into action.
Absolutely. Maybe it's creating that listen to your life
The
timeline,
identity.
Goins suggests,
Right.
or identifying those accidental apprenticeships and seeing how those experiences have shaped our skills and interests.
Or maybe it's about dedicating time to painful practice in an area we're truly passionate about,
Yeah.
even if it feels challenging.
Right. And we can't forget about that gift work. How can we incorporate more of that into our lives,
Right.
giving back to our communities or supporting a cause we believe in?
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating a portfolio life that truly reflects our values.
It really is.
And ultimately, it's about recognizing how all of these pieces come together to shape the legacy we're creating. So we've covered so much ground today, from brain tumors to calligraphy classes to Ugandan coffee farms.
Yeah, it's quite a range.
And it all circles back to this fundamental question. What were you born to do?
Mm-hmm.
And how is your work, in all its forms, contributing to a life of meaning and purpose?
We've explored a lot of inspiring stories and insightful concepts.
Yeah.
And I hope this deep dive has provided you with some valuable takeaways as you consider your own path.
I hope so, too. It's been an incredible journey exploring these ideas together.
Yeah, me too.
And remember, finding your life's work is not a destination. It's an ongoing process of discovery.
Right.
There will be twists and turns,
Yeah.
setbacks, and breakthroughs.
It's all part of the journey.
The key is to stay curious, keep learning, keep building those bridges, and stay open to those pivot points that can redirect us towards a more fulfilling path.
I love that.
So as you move forward, consider this. What legacy are you building through your work and your life? We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought and maybe even sparked some inspiration as you continue on your journey. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep diving deep.
If you like this video, please show it with a like, share, or comment. Your opinion is important. Don't forget to subscribe and allow notifications to get more content like this. See you on the next video.